and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy, episode 519 for the week of October 3rd, 2021. My name's Ryan Higgins. Who's here this week?
And Brock Sager.
Oh, two-man show with Brock. Hello, Brock.
Hello, Ryan.
That's all right. That's right. I think Kevin's on vacation. I'm posting something about being out of town.
I don't Toby posts stuff like, and who knows if it's true. Charlie is either incognito because of his kids or has another, like...
Well, he's got his Doctor Who podcast. Yeah. He's got his gaming group. Yeah, it's all right. That's all right. That's all right. There's as many people that want to be here as that can ever be here. You never know. It's always you never know who's going to be here every week. It's different. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff.
Drop in like 20 minutes into it. So
it's possible. Yeah. We don't have too many topics, but we got some good questions from the audience. So we're gonna hit up the I don't know. Even with last week, right? Because we had Colin Bunn on. Colin
Bunn and what Heath.
Yeah. Heath Amudio.
Yep.
Yeah. So even last week, I just kind of banked our topics for this week, and we just had like nothing. It's been a quiet couple of weeks for comic news. I mean, stuff's happened, but it's like just random garbage.
It's the biggest news, Ryan. The biggest news of all. They're here for it. You need to give it to them. We should just start with that biggest news.
Oh, there's a couple, and that's what I'm gonna do. I don't want to bore you with boring dumb crap. We'll talk about decent stuff.
Decent stuff.
Decent stuff.
Decent stuff. All the Marvel haters heard DC stuff.
No, decent stuff. We actually are going to talk about Marvel, and we'll start with Marvel.
And that's the big one. This is the...
So, this
Clickbait
came out while we were gone, or while we were doing another episode last week.
It's like a day before, right? Like...
I think so. Yeah,
like dropped on the week, like Friday or on the weekend or something.
And you know, a lot of people seemed concerned, but I probably don't have any reason to believe. So Marvel Comics is currently in the middle of multiple lawsuits against comic creators and heirs of comic creators, including Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, including about control over characters such as, and I'll read a partial list here: Spider-Man, Iron Man, Ant-Man, Thor, Doctor Strange, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Captain Marvel, Falcon, Blade, and many more. This is because all comics created for Marvel, created for under a work-for-hire conditions. And
which are very predatory, and at the time were pretty much the only thing going. So it was kind of very limited for creators, and they were forced into it.
No, I'm not a lawyer, contrary to popular belief. My knowledge of law is minimal.
But you have that ink book at the place. It makes you look lawyerish.
Good armchair. I'm a good weekend Twitter armchair lawyer.
Yeah.
But so I will leave some of this commentary from people that actually know what they're talking about. Basically, a number of years after something is created, even under work for hire, people involved in the creation or their families can file for a notice of termination for the copyright status of those characters. Now, that doesn't mean they like own the character.
No,
but there's elements of the character that would be under control of the family if it was allowed. Yeah. And the company would own certain aspects as well. Basically, Marvel's trying to own 100%.
Yes.
Like what happened. So with Superman, I believe it's a little bit different because Superman was not created work for hire by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. They made the character and they were purchased by
there's that infamous check.
The company that was DC Comics at the time, National Periodicals.
Yeah, National NC, right?
So these what is happening is that people are trying to get Marvel to. They're basically suing for some level of ownership. More than likely, I think. I don't think there's really any other outcome here. Is that Marvel will either get full control of the character, because they'll win the lawsuit, or like with Superman and some other characters, there will be some sort of agreement.
Yes,
but Marvel and Disney will have 100%.
Disney wants to come to agreements. They came to an agreement with Scarlett Johansson.
Yep.
So,
we don't really. I mean, Ashley didn't put that on the topic list just because there's nothing to say about it. Like they're like, we don't know anything about it. So there's just no specifics. But there is almost zero chance that Marvel and Disney would lose ownership of any of these characters, that they would lose any of their copyrights. Disney is, they've continued to have the copyright law for Mickey Mouse well past what it normally would be.
Yes.
More than likely, the creators or heirs will get either some sort of payout, or even if they do own some sort of small ownership of the characters, it will be then licensed back to Marvel and Disney. And so they will get paid, which I totally think they should, right? I mean, I have no problem at all with the creators getting paid and the heirs getting paid some amount of money. I have no problem with this at all. But yeah, if you're concerned with
the clickbait that's been going around, like Marvel's going to lose all these characters and who knows what's going to happen with them.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I mean, if something changes dramatically with copyright law, then they could.
Yeah, it could.
But it's not going to happen. So Marvel's not going to lose the rights to Spider-Man, Iron Man, Ant-Man, Thor, Doctor Strange, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Captain Marvel, Falcon, and Blade, and potentially more. They're not going to. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're just going to move on. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something that I think we maybe can be in some part of agreement here with. Sandman. We saw the first footage from
teaser, man.
the teaser of the trailer of Neil Gaiman's Sandman live action
on
Netflix television show. This is part of Netflix's Tudum event, which is maybe the stupidest name I've ever heard in my entire life, if anything.
Hey, it may be stupid, but do you know how dominating on the internet they were that day?
I didn't hear anything about anything. I only saw the Sandman thing.
Well,
I mean, it's just their TV. It's just
their announcement time.
That's fine. Yeah,
it's ta-dum, because that's the stupid sound the thing makes when you load
I know
it
what
on.
it is. I know what it is. I have no idea what else they announced.
Stranger Things is coming next year. Witcher is out December 17th. Another Life is this month. They dropped footage, or they dropped a pre-production thing for the live-action Witcher show that takes place before The Witcher. And I'm trying to think of anything else if I remember off the top of my head. No, they dropped a bunch of stuff going forward of shows to hype people up. So people,
I'm sure they did. It's a bunch of stuff I don't watch. So that's why I said I don't like everybody Sandman. So we saw a little, just a teaser, and it is shockingly accurate to the comic.
Shockingly accurate. It is. I'm like, it's great. It's fantastic. It's going to be amazing. Is
Tom Sturridge, is that his name?
Yeah.
It was a bit of the part with Roderick Burgess, Charles Dance, the actor.
Fits perfectly.
He's perfect casting for that role. Yeah, he's amazing. It is a very quick summary of him capturing Dream.
Well, it's the whole part of them doing the ritual.
Yeah, it's that
scene where they're trying to capture Death, and they get Dream.
Yeah. I mean, it's cut. It's obviously going to be different when it's on there, but it's kind of they quick cut a few shots. You don't really see too much, but you do get one or two quick. You get a shot of Dream in the helm as he's laying on the ground again, like shot for shot from the comic. So
the whole that top shot was amazing.
So that was my fear, is that I thought there was two ways to go for a Sandman show. You either go a dreaming anthology and you just have stuff be random and you just go crazy and have fun with it and do whatever you want, or you very accurately adapt the book. The problem with and like why seems to be going mostly in that direction. My problem with Preacher was it was fucking horrid. Like they just tried to redo it.
Yeah, it was,
and it just didn't work.
Preacher did such a fantastic job, the graphic novel, of capturing you in that first just issue, and the show's pilot did none of that.
No, the first season was one of the worst seasons of ever
and then
of a show I've ever watched.
Just like
I watched like an episode or two, I think, of season 2, and I was just like, "Nah, I'm done. It's bad."
And the sad part is, Preacher is one of those that's one of those top rated, just really really solid.
Oh, I'd kill for them to completely redo Preacher and just do it just a straight adaptation of it, you know. So, again, I have problems with it being on Netflix. Again, I do not trust Netflix to finish Sandman. I hate the binge model. So my goal, I mean, we will cover it here one episode at a time. You know, if I find it's worth talking about. We're not going to.
You find Sandman is worth talking about?
No, well, I mean, especially the first episode. I'm sure we're going to talk, but I'm not watching 10 or 12 episodes like day one. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. No. I hate it. I hate the whole format.
Like I don't mind. Like I don't mind them dropping like the binge model. I don't mind it. It allows for freedom to do what you want. Right. You know, Doom Patrol dropped 3, you know, that they seem to be dropping the three, and then they start one a week following.
Yeah. That's even that I fall behind on. I'm like, I can watch 3 episodes one a week, and now I'm just behind. So
it's fine. Like I just prefer, like, I just want the content to be there when I'm ready to watch it, and available. Like, just the ease of it is fine. Like, I understand people like binge model sucks, blah 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 blah, and I'm like,
I think a lot of people like it. I hate it.
I enjoy it for just I can watch it at my own pace and know that I don't have to stretch this thing out. Like, I'm already behind Why Last Man. I'm going to be behind Why Last Man 2 episodes, and I'm like, I'll just wait and I'll binge a couple more once they, like, it's the waiting week to week. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, I don't care. Right. I got caught up with Doom Patrol. And I'm like, all right, I'll watch them when they drop, I'll watch them maybe a 2 at a time or something. But I think if you're going to do something with a specific show, stick with the format. So if you're 3 and then weekly, fine. If you're dropping the whole time, drop the whole time, right? It just depends on what thing is. If Netflix decides to do a handful of shows, drop the whole thing. Handful of shows 3 and then every week.
But they don't. Everything is binge on Netflix. That's their whole model. So like I just don't like it. It was good. It was good. Well, we'll see. I don't. So who should be in the first season, right? Dream, Desire, and Death. I don't.
Dream is in it. Desire's in it. Oh God, I cannot wait for a sound of her wings. Oh please, like
this should be, because I think they're doing the first. They're doing the first 2 books in the first season?
If they're doing the first 2 books, they're doing Preludes and Nocturnes and the Dollhouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if they're doing those 2, then we'll see glimpses of Desire, we'll see Death, and we'll get introduced to Rose. Dr. Destiny will be in it, which cannot.
Yeah, it is
Preludes,
definitely it is Preludes and Nocturnes, but I'm not sure if they're going in. I mean, if they do 1 season a book, that's going to be a long show. But yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing past the first arc. But yeah, we're at least getting the first arc, which is great.
Well, in that first arc, you like Sound of Her Wings is kind of that's that last thing to Preludes and Nocturnes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's the final. That's sort of the final chapter that that gets it all done.
It's that follow up. It's that follow up after everything, which is amazing.
I we'll see. I'm waiting for like a big trailer. We'll see more, I'm sure. Sandman looks cool. It's going to be changed. Obviously, they're going to modernize some stuff, change some stuff up.
Well, I mean, that's what they did with the Audible drama. I mean, the Audible did a fairly decent job staying consistent and true to the original content. They had a handful of changes here and there, some dialogue tweaks, some narration tweaks, but overall, they kept the Audible pretty straightforward to the comic, and the Audible was like beautiful to listen to. It was an amazing experience just listening to a graphic novel. I did download the second part, and I've just finished listening to the prelude for Season of Mist, which is one of my most favorite, like 6 panels or 6 pages in comics is just the description of the Endless. Oh, so good. So good.
Yeah, the audiobooks or audio dramas are word for word the comic. They're going to adapt some stuff for film, obviously, but I am hopeful that they stay extremely true to the comic, because that's, obviously there will be some changes. Obviously, they have to. Well, they can't do it exact. But
we live in an era, I think, that accepts stories that aren't necessarily straight linear, or stories that bounce around in content, right? Like,
he's already said they're going to do all the one-off episodes are all going to be all the one-off issues are going to be episodes. They're going to do the cat. What's it called? I forgot what it's called. Dream of a Thousand Cats.
Dream of a Thousand Cats. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that is going to be an episode, he said. So that's fantastic, right? I mean, they're going to do it pretty close, and so that's awesome.
Like, doing that stuff, it's like you have the one where he befriends the guy and they meet in the bar every 100 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you have a couple other ones. You have the 2-parter with.
The Shakespeare ones are great. I really want that.
Right.
Yep.
There is so much potential for just really amazing stuff coming out of the Netflix show, and I cannot wait to see what they do with it. Now, things like, can they do the boy detectives?
Sure. I mean, if they're in the comic,
they start in Sandman.
Well, that is the thing. There is going to be changes, right? We're gonna have Joanna Constantine, right? So they're changing that up. I don't know if that's Gaiman seemed to kind of bounce around. On Twitter,
Joanna's in that one where he meets the guy over and over again.
What was that?
Constantine is in that.
Yeah, but she's John Constantine. She's going to be John Constantine. She's replacing John.
Yeah, if they replace John Constantine, like in the one where he's getting his pouch, like that's completely understandable. That's not a significant change to make me go, oh my god, this is the worst thing they've ever done. Sandman's ruined.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Again, I want it to be as accurate as possible. They're going to make some changes. That's fine. The audiobook is...
the easiest thing to do is just bring Matt Ryan over and just plug him right in. Like,
there is a weird thing, right, where they changed him on Legend, so he's no longer like John Constantine. Like, I don't know what the hell the deal with that is. And like, I haven't finished Legends from last season, so like, I'm not sure what happened there. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. But yeah, I was reading his account on Twitter. He was kind of bouncing around what was up with Constantine. They just wanted to make some changes, or they couldn't use them. It didn't seem like he gave a really firm answer. I may have missed something.
This is Gaiman?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am, as always, with things that I really like, I am terrified. I am more scared than excited. Because I want it to be better than it probably could possibly be. Mm-hmm. Then that's why I think the audio drama I thought was absolutely brilliant.
Now, was it difficult to watch WandaVision knowing that what's her name was voicing Death? The girl that voices Death is what's her name?
Voices Death?
Mew Mew.
Oh! You mean in the audio drama? Yeah. What the hell's her name?
I can't remember.
I forgot her name.
What is her?
Kat
name?
Dennings. Yes, Kat Dennings.
Yes.
Yeah, she's maybe the only one that stands out for me in the audio dramas that like I hear her voice and not the character's voice. Like even what's his face plays it was Morpheus. Like I don't hear him. He doesn't have a distinguished a voice that stands out really.
What's his name from?
Yeah.
Professor Xavier.
Yeah, sure. Just blanking on his name, whatever the last name is. Yeah, I mean, he just has like a random voice. Patton Oswalt is going to be Matthew the Raven, and that might stick out a little bit.
It's going to be amazing.
It should be, but he has a really distinct voice.
Oswalt, it's going to be amazing.
He has a really distinct voice. So
just stop. It's going to be amazing. It's who they get to play Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, I don't know if they've cast it. I don't. There's a big cast list out there. I just kind of I avoid it. I just
like I'm excited for what's her name as Lucifer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We talked about this a while ago.
We
That's
are the worst.
Gwendolyn Christie. Yeah, we talked about that a while back. Yep. No, like I said, there's going to be changes. I'm interested. See where they go with it. Next topic. We didn't see Venom. I didn't watch Venom. You watch Venom? You gonna watch Venom?
There's a Venom movie out.
Venom? Yep.
Did it drop?
Venom 2 came out this week.
Did it?
It sure did. I don't know why you're asking me. No.
Then no, I didn't see it.
Okay. Well, it's being estimate $90 million opening weekend. So yeah, million. Venom.
You mean it beat like Shang-Chi and
I believe so.
And Black Widow?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Like that R-rated movie beat. I know, James Bond opened overseas and did like 120 million opening weekend. So like, yeah, we're due for a new Bond. So I'm like, all right, I bought the box set of Bond, but that didn't include Spectre, and then had to buy Spectre to put the disc in the other one, and then now I'm like, there's another goddamn Daniel Craig movie. Why did I buy this Bond set?
Yeah, it's his last one. Yeah, and there's going to be another box set and then another box set.
Those bastards.
So if someone has seen Venom in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure we'll talk about it. Otherwise, we'll cover it when the Blu-ray's out.
Movie at this point, like this is Carnage. I mean,
it is. This is Carnage. This is Carnage. All right. Sorry, we should have more Venom hot takes, but we don't. The problem with I still haven't
seen the first one.
So somebody
shanked the extra DVD copy or Blu-ray copy that I could have gotten for Christmas, but we're not going to name names.
So talking with a few people that have seen it, the problem that they've told me was that while the first movie was dumb but fun, it kind of didn't know it. And that
was what made it fine.
And that made it right. This one intentionally is
dumb and fun, and that's why it's not the best.
Yeah, but like I think like critical reviews are actually halfway decent. So comparatively, so I just from a few people that have told me.
No, I think critically, a good review of Woody Harrelson playing a psychopath killing machine. That yes, I don't see that. I don't see how that exists. Considering every time Woody Harrelson plays a killing machine, people love it.
I will catch it. Blu-ray, I'm sure it'll be out in like 2 months. It seems to come out pretty quick these days.
Well, it's like Shang-Chi is like November 13th. It drops for free on Disney Plus, so I'm like I can check it out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Got some questions. Got a bunch. We'll get here.
Hit us.
This is from Travis. He did say the Venom Carnage was great. If you like the first one, you'll like it. kind of like most comic movies or like a Fast and Furious movie, you know to expect.
Okay.
But he really liked the last scene, and I did. I mean, I already was spoiled with the post credit scene, but it's whatever. It's
Is it Toxin?
No, I won't say what it is, but I mean, it's out there. It was spoiled. Like they're showing it on YouTube and everything. Like before the movie even came out. Like yeah, they just spoiled the hell out of the post credit scene.
Screech.
So, it's out there if you want to see it. But yeah, Travis seemed to like it. So yeah, we'll definitely get to see it at some point. From Nick on Twitter, he says there seems to be a push by the Batman books to blur the line between manga and Western comics, and the Static Shock comic seems to be doing this too. All right, I think it's just called Static.
It's just Static season 1.
Do you expect this to fizzle out, or do you see that spreading to the rest of the industry as well? Well, manga is extremely popular, especially if you're like 30s and under. Anime was a mainstay in American television. You know, we kind of
we missed it because they weren't publishing it and weren't playing it, but we wanted that. Like we kind of drove demand, but by the time it came, we were past it already in our interest.
Yeah, the accessible anime and manga was a little past our generation. So, I mean, I still love it. I've read a ton of manga and watched a ton of anime. I still watch stuff occasionally. But for a lot of people that are a little bit younger, so mid 30s and under, anime and manga has been a kind of, especially if you're a comic fan or a kind of a sci-fi geek or whatever, it's been just a mainstay. So you're going to, it's not a push. It's just the style. They did the Future State Batman book, right?
Future State Gotham.
Yeah, which has definitely had
it's the straight manga style. It's straight black and white. There's no color to it. I'm reading it. It's okay. Like the art style is the art style. It's not. It's kind of a blend of manga and Western comic book, but it does lean heavy to anime. It's not horrible, but it's not something that like it doesn't grab me like it would grab other audiences.
No, it is 100% clearly. I don't have the artist name in front of me here, but it is clearly extremely manga influenced. Jorge Jimenez, who does Batman, right? Again, extremely influenced by manga art style.
Jorge has his own style that he blends well with. That he blends very well. So it's more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Like. He blends better with the house style of DC. I categorize. I see the influences, but I don't.
Yeah.
And it's Nicola Mesgia. I don't know. I'm horrible with pronunciations because I have a copy right here. The Future State Gotham. But no, I mean it's a cool blend. Like I think blending styles works, can work really well, and it opens other people's eyes to other things. It brings people in who might not traditionally get single issue comics. So, and then you were talking about Static. Season 1 has it's a more like. Not manga style, but more anime style. So that it's a definitely very heavy and cartoonish, like art style versus big eyes and very accentuated facial expressions for manga.
I mean, manga and anime have, although there are many manga and anime shows with extremely different art styles. There are some tropes, and they're the same. It's not really different. They both do the same thing. I would think you're going to get artists that is more in line with their art style.
Because they grew up with that more so than artists that we're accustomed to. Like the younger generation of artists coming up are going to have more broader influences, I guess is the better term, because they had better access to more things. So
yeah, see, you'd think that, but I don't think that's the case. With access to the internet, people can very easily find the one thing they like and stick with it and never have to look for anything else ever again, because there's entire communities focused on keeping people stuck to the one thing and not branching out.
But it also allows you to look at other stuff no matter what.
Yeah, but they don't. That's the problem.
I mean,
I mean, some people will, sure, but there is an absolute, if you look on,
there's always been people that just.
I mean, for the last year and a half, I've heard it in all of Leanne's art classes, and if you look at DeviantArt and you look at art online, I mean, that manga influence is just, it's extremely prevalent, and some people just can't break out of that format. You're not going to get less of it. You're getting more of it, not less. And that's not a bad thing. It's an interesting style. And it totally works for superhero comics. There's not like a huge difference. There are some tropes in manga that don't really exist in American comics, but it's good art is good art. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, good art.
It just depends on the book you're working on. It depends what the style is. That might not work for certain books where, other books, especially superhero books, I think it works perfectly fine with.
Yeah, like a lot of I have a copy of Teen Titans Beast Boy Loves Raven here. Gabriel Piccolo his art's amazing. I love it. Mm-hmm. Right, but you can definitely see like influences, some of the manga influences that he most likely probably has a little. So
yeah, maybe a little. Again, I think it's influence is one thing. Straight up rip off is another thing. That's the problem. Yeah. If it's just a bad copy, it's going to be bad regardless. Verum Libertas,
that Verum guy,
asks on Twitter, how is Penguin Random House doing so far? Our new Marvel comic distributor.
This week?
Yes. So it has been a little rocky. We haven't received the first shipment. We're supposed to get it Monday. So by the time this episode goes up, we'll know.
So is this you telling me I'm picking up the shipment tomorrow?
No. Penguin delivers everything to the house, to the store, UPS.
Oh, okay. Are we still getting Diamond? Is Diamond direct yet, or
no? Diamond's coming the old way. So, first week for Penguin. On the back end, there's been some work. Luckily, if you're a comic hub store, most of that work's been done for you. You don't have to worry about it. If you're not,
they did it.
Did what?
They got the invoice thing all situated.
Should be live tomorrow. I mean, most of it's done. FOC's been done. A lot of back end's done. Invoices are supposed to be good tomorrow.
Yeah, I did my normal last call for order look on Friday, Saturday, and everything looked fine on the end that the user end. So
yeah, if you're a reader, it shouldn't really affect you at all unless your store's dumb.
So calling out all the dumb stores out there, just
there's a lot of them. For us, Comic Hub's taking care of most of the back end. Again, a little different, but no major issues yet. We'll see tomorrow.
So that means you got everything checked in. You got all that Penguin Random House reorder shipment stuff checked in.
No, none of it. It doesn't go until tomorrow. Yeah, no, it's broken. you actually, not a conversation for here, but we cannot check in the Penguin Random House stuff because they're still in the process of getting that to work. So we actually can't check in. Yeah. We could.
I love stacking boxes in the back, breaking down shipments and going, here's another box of chicken. Here's another box.
We could have checked it in last week, the old-fashioned way, the old manual way. Mm-hmm. We physically cannot right now because they're in the process of redoing it, but it should be live tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So again, a little behind the scenes.
Marshall, there. Good luck with it.
From Ian, he says, who doesn't think Swamp Thing is just amazing right now? And that would be the Ram V, Mike Perkins. Yeah, Mike Perkins. I believe Mike Perkins is the artist. Series. It's great. I really enjoyed the new. I'm such a sucker for Swamp Thing. I always like something. But it's a cool new take. We'll see if this version sticks around. Tends to always go back to Alec Holland eventually. But it's been a cool story.
I'm behind on it, but like the first 2 issues were just amazing. I'll read them all in a bulk. At this point.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the art. I really enjoyed where the story went. Ram V is knocking it out of the park right now. I actually went back and finally read that Brigands stuff of his from that really weird publishing company. The first one was okay. The art style didn't really fit it, or it didn't add to it. But the second book for Brigands, the art style just ramped up so much, and it was really, really amazing. So, going back and reading his earlier stuff and going, okay, I can see how he's progressed to where he is now. So it's really awesome. But yeah, Swamp Thing, really good.
Yep. Yeah. It kind of splits the line between DC and Vertigo. It does a good job of being, a little bit more adult, but not
Vertigo doesn't exist. Black Label exists.
Graphic or anything. But I do like there was kind of an odd Suicide Squad tie-in. It is sort of half tying in with Carnage's Suicide Squad.
So I haven't read that part, but I have I hope that doesn't hinder it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many times that they take they have a mini series. In this it's a mini series, and then you take a mini series and cut in a team up with Suicide Squad. What are you doing?
Well, not a team up, but yeah, the squad is tracking him down, but they do reference, which it's part of the book, but they do reference that in Suicide Squad. So it's an interesting way where the characters are doing the same thing in 2 books, which I find that they don't do, and it's by 2 different writers too, so they don't tend to do that very much. Michael asked, have you guys talked about the Midnight Suns game at all? I don't remember hearing it discussed. Perhaps I missed an episode. No, you did not, because this could not be further from something I'm interested in.
What is this?
So this is it's a tactical RPG, kind of around XCOM. I don't know if you ever played XCOM.
Another game like it?
Sure. There's a few others. The Mario plus Rabbids is very similar. I'm not against those type of games. When I heard there was going to be so this is based on Midnight Suns, which is like the Ghost Rider, Blade, Doctor Strange,
Spirits of Vengeance stuff, right?
Yeah. And I was like, that could be cool. I'm like, oh, tactical RPG, that could be cool. I will read a short part of the wiki page here up for it, because I was looking up see if they had any some info on it here.
You got to throw Iron Man and Wolverine in there just because what? And is that Wasp?
Players would be able to create their own superhero named the Hunter, with over 40 different superpowers. So basically, you're playing not a real character. So interest goes to 0, and I'm just like, I have no interest. Maybe if I hear it's great.
Games, they do all the they do a lot of the sports games, right?
Yeah, I didn't see who was making it. If you hear it's great. People are like, this is the game of the year. That maybe I'll check it out. But yeah, it's just kind of not really my style, and especially not with generic rando non-real character. It's like, well, whatever. I don't know. It's stupid.
Yeah. I guess you gotta. I don't know. You gotta want to.
Well, like the Wolverine game, totally. The Insomniac one, the Spider-Man game, totally. Yeah, totally down to play those. Those are great. Those. I have no idea. The Wolverine game could suck. I have no clue. But my hope is that it's cool. But playing as rando generic non-existing character is it's kind of a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Derek wants to know, he says, I love Darkhawk. Has the new series gotten any buzz going from the 90s kids? Man, so I read the Darkhawk. It's called the special that came out.
Was it called Awakening? Was it Awakening?
The Awakening? No. It was Heart of the Hawk.
Heart of the Hawk.
So they got Danny Fingeroth, who did the original stuff. Dan Abnett did the sort of he did like a kind of flashback to the Nova era stuff the Dark Oak was involved in, and then Kyle Higgins did
the Realm of Kings stuff, right?
Yeah, and then Kyle Higgins did the kind of lead into the news story, and I was like, all right, you guys shat all over Darkhawk for like 15 years. There was some terrible 10, 12 years. There was some real fucking bad Darkhawk stuff over the last 10, 12
years. The Realm
years.
of King stuff was just weird.
No, past that. I don't mind. That was fine. The Raptor stuff was fine.
Okay, like it was past like that. For me, it was weird. I was like, I don't. Okay, I'm gonna. Or sure, I'll.
Yeah.
But everything after that, you're saying, has been...
Darkhawk has always been like a space guy. He just, most of the stories were on Earth. There was, the original series had this whole like he was an alien. There was all this, so I don't mind that they expanded on that. Yeah. Totally fine.
Okay.
I got the new series. I was like, a new person taking over as Darkhawk. I'm not sure I need to read this. Just don't. I don't need this again.
Is it the embodiment of somebody's kid?
No, I'm just like, I just don't need this. I will get to it. I will try it. I like Kyle Higgins. I have no problem with Kyle Higgins at all.
You're not gonna get to it.
I am. I will. I 100% will.
You need to do an OnlyFans of just you reading it. I don't know. I mean, why not? It doesn't have to be weird. You can just read the book in front of people.
Man. Yeah, but I am definitely going to get to it eventually. But that one shot was good. Heart of the Hawk was good.
It was? Okay.
The rest, I don't know. We'll see.
That's right. They're gonna bring back that Cancel the New Warriors book, and they'll just
no, that's gone. They canceled them all. Diamond finally took off. So when the Penguin Random House move happened, all that stuff. This actually, I don't think we talked about this.
Probably not.
When COVID hit, there were a number of books that got scrapped that never came back out, and there was talk about them. Like a bunch did, but there was 2 issues of Punisher and Barracuda that didn't ship. There was the last 2 issues of Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane, like those series that were going on that started just prior to COVID. There was that New Warriors series that was going to start very soon.
That had like Snowflake and Hashtag and...
Again, we just don't need to talk about it.
The look on your face is priceless right now.
And there was a Nebula series. There was a Nebula series,
and wasn't there like a couple issues of that Raven Corps? Like
that came out.
They finished the Asylum one?
Those all came out. Okay. Yeah. That might have been it. I feel like there maybe was one other series, but it was
a slapstick miniseries.
No.
Was it Mosaic?
No, definitely not.
What was the other
Diamond one? Finally canceled all that stuff. So that means it's done. Basically, when Marvel left, I believe they were like, look, we got to clear out any dangling stuff in Diamond's database, and those books are gone. Mm-hmm. They're not happening. They are gone. I am 1,000% okay with that New Warrior series not happening.
Watch.
I would have ordered...
It drops in the next previews.
I would have ordered I would have ordered 100 copies so I could get the 1 in 100 Mark Bagley variant cover for myself. That's a classic lineup shot. I would have totally done that. I would have bought every variant cover of every issue. I would have got them. I would have taped them up. I would have put them in my long box and not ever looked at them. I just couldn't do it. It looked fucking terrible. Fucking like every series has been kind of.
It keeps getting worse. They keep getting worse.
This is on a level that I am offended as a human being by.
You'll take penance over this stuff any day now. So
it's a tough one.
Is the Penance miniseries going to be better than this New Warriors?
I would like the Sandman thing, I would rather have nothing than something bad, like when we were talking about that. So I would rather never have another New Warrior series ever again. I'd rather people never show up at another book ever again than have them ruin these characters and continue to shit all over them. So just don't even bother, guys. Just put them in a drawer. Just never worry about them. Just pretend they don't exist. You've done a very good job of killing them.
Just do the death of the New Warriors, get it over with. Call it a day.
All right, big question for wrap up here. Big question to wrap up here is from question. 7 to Gideon Falls. Big Gideon
Falls fan?
And 7 to Eternity fan.
I have not finished that series. It was good. I just don't remember where I left off.
So this comes off after more talk and more rumors of the Netflix guys coming over to the MCU. Charlie Cox being Daredevil, and Vincent D'Onofrio being Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, accounts are posting it like it's done, like it's a done deal, like it's happening, like it's done, like it is happening. Says, should Marvel keep the same actors from Daredevil and ignore continuity? Keep continuity, get all the cast together. I think all the Marvel shows should count and be established so origin stories can be summed up and not repeated. What are your thoughts?
So, I mean, I haven't even finished.
Take a big sip of water here.
I haven't even finished Daredevil season 3. I never watched Iron Fist. I never watched Luke Cage. I never watched Jessica Jones. So I didn't watch a lot of the Netflix stuff. I think the Netflix shows stuck fairly well with continuity within the context of not being MCU, like direct, like they were MCU adjacent. So they did a good job of being kind of connected loosely, but not connected completely. I don't know if it would be a case of cherry picking, because if you're going to do that, then are we going to like cherry pick from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Inhumans? Because those are just not good. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was connected at some point, and then it wasn't, or it was adjacent, but not. I like Danny Cox's Daredevil. I think that's great. I like what they did in those first 2 seasons. I like whatever.
You like the what?
Is it Danny Cox?
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox. Thank you, sir. I like his Daredevil. I like the Kingpin from that. I like the Punisher out of that. All those characters from that show were amazing. The rest of it I just didn't get into, so I couldn't say if I would think those would be a good fit. But if they're moving like Moon Knight over and all of those, they kind of still need to keep a darker tone to some of that kind of Marvel Knights-esque stuff. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I think there's almost 0% chance that they will bring these characters over, especially not because I don't think they'll bring the actors over, and they definitely won't bring the shows over into continuity for one simple reason. They're rated R. I just don't think they're going to acknowledge those. They're on Netflix and they're rated R.
Well,
Disney
could do Hulu.
Yeah. I mean, they'll move to Hulu once they're off Netflix. I don't know how much longer they're still on Netflix for.
But is Moon Knight going to be Disney proper?
Yeah, no, Moon Knight's Disney Plus. Yeah, no, not a single Marvel thing will ever be rated R. So Deadpool is like the one thing that they may like still keep the Fox logo on, and just because like that was such a big hit.
Well, that's the thing is like I understand that Disney is that company, right? But we've always had Buena Vista. We had Buena Vista before.
Oh yeah,
we've had
these. I just don't think you're ever going to. Blade will be rated PG-13. You're not going to get a rated R.
So bad. You have to keep these. But these characters work so well when they don't have. Or rephrase. The characters can work so naturally without having that restriction. The characters can be put into a PG-13. They can be put into that model, but like that Marvel Knights line that has that darker tone to it. Just fucking Buena Vista it already. Like give us something, right? The kids don't need to it's the Buena Vista MCU, right? It's like, yeah, you've gone to bed. The Avengers are,
Yeah, they're very easy to do. Daredevil, Ghost Rider, Punisher, all that stuff. PG-13, very easy to do it. Very easy to do it successfully. Of course, I would like to see that stuff rated R. That'd be great. Mm-hmm. But I just don't think there's any chance in hell they're going to push people that are watching Spider-Man to see the R-rated Daredevil stuff. I just don't think they're going to. That they could use the actors, they could, but the shows don't really acknowledge it. Shield completely has nothing to do with it, right? And Shield was just went off.
Shield comes out of the Marvel movies, then tries to swing back into the Marvel movies with the whole
but all the
stuff and the Thor stuff.
But it wasn't all the Marvel TV.
Then it goes completely the other direction.
Yeah, no, we've talked about this. All the Marvel TV stuff that was all done under Jeff Loeb, and it is all non-canon. It is all non-canon in the MCU. It just isn't part of it.
It's all legacy now.
Yeah, it is. It's its own thing. I think there's. So could they? Yeah, sure, of course. Will they?
Netflix,
I just don't see it.
The Netflix stuff has, like I said before, has those loose connecting threads, right? Like Daredevil acknowledges the thing, the alien invasion or the invasion of New York, right? There's the Daily Bugle article on the wall. There's some things to it, but it doesn't solidly connect it in that we never got anybody from the MCU over and we never sent anybody from the TV show over, right? Which is normally where those things would start to connect, and because we've really kind of got that out of, Black Widow was the first, right? Because she showed up in Iron Man and then she showed up in Cap, and then it was kind of like she was kind of the connecting thread for a while, her and Agent Coulson, I guess. And Nick Fury. So you have these kind of characters that are secondary characters that are connecting those things together. But I don't. Disney's going to do what Disney does, and they're going to do it to maximize profits and get as many get as many views as possible. So,
which is more than likely PG-13. And that was all done under Jeff Loeb. Those are Jeff Loeb people. They're not going to want them, right? They're going to want to start fresh. I think they're great casting. I think their actors are all great. I would love for them to keep them. Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Punisher, Daredevil, even Iron Fist. Again, Iron Fist was Iron Fist, right? It was pretty true to the comics. I have no problem with any of them. I just don't see it happening. That's it. If it does, great. I'm not a huge fan of the Netflix shows. And clearly either the ratings just were horrible as they went on, or because of the Disney deal wrapping up, Netflix decided to just crap them out, because they just abandoned those shows. So they just didn't really get a chance to wrap up or do anything. And there was just no promotion for the final seasons of any of that stuff. So I don't even know how many people have watched them, for the later seasons, because I know I didn't. Do I want them? If it was like, we're going to bring all these characters over and they're going to show up in the movies, I'd have no problem with that. But I just don't think they're going to. Now, if they do, right? If they do, same actors, do they recap? Do they redo them? I think you could keep them. I don't think there's anything so dramatic in those Netflix shows that I watched, at least, that would not work in the MCU. They didn't make any crazy weird changes that couldn't work. I think they they were fine, right? Kingpin could still work in New York City. There's not enough happens in New York in the movies to, to really have Kingpin not be a part of it.
Well, New York is such a huge city with such a diverse neighborhood alliance anyway. Hell's Kitchen is just one part of New York.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, you do think it is a little weird that they don't call on Iron Fist to show up for the big fight against Thanos or something, right? But like, I don't know, if they're all stuck in their own little corner, not interacting with the Avengers, that's fine.
I think the hardest thing and the most disappointing thing is that with those characters like Blade, Moon Knight, I had a list in my head and then it completely blanked out. Ghost Rider, Wolverine. These characters add a little bit more to a more adult, mature type of story. And like Deadpool, especially, how well did that PG-13 Deadpool 2 really do? Right? Like
Deadpool 2 wasn't PG-13.
They did that Deadpool PG-13 version. Was that the first one?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah. I can't imagine.
They did a PG-13 version of like the number 2.
Yeah. I probably didn't do great. I don't know. I can't imagine it made that much money. That's not why people see Deadpool.
But again, you have this point where people can, you can have kind of that darker stuff with Deadpool. You can have that darker stuff with Blade. You can have that. You can tell those more horror stories with, Ghost Rider and, some of those characters that are on the, more darker magical side. Like, I think there's potential all around. And again, if they do it intelligently, great. If they're doing it just, I think this is the main theme of the show this week. I like the stuff. I want them to be true to the stuff. If they're not going to do it good, then don't do it at all.
Oh, yeah. And no one's trying to do stuff bad. They just,
Venom 2, right?
Well, again, I'm sure they are looking at doing, what they think is good, but they also probably, what does the audience want? I'm sure with Venom 2, they're like, let's do more of that, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they're not thinking they're doing a bad job. I just what they think is good and what I want and what the audience wants sometimes are 3 different things. So, absolutely no problem at all with Charlie Cox and Kristen Ritter and other actors whose names I'm forgetting.
We don't know people's names. We're horrible. We're old
coming
men.
Over. But I think it's pretty unlikely. All right, that's a podcast. We are going to wrap up. Thank you all very much for listening to this.
Look, we have an outro
every week at the Comic Conspiracy. You can find us on here. Please go thank our wonderful top tier backers. Go support them. Joe Duff, Craig Anderson at ClearPathCoaches.com, Jimmy Rivera at the Social Forum Podcast, and Talon Bray. Patreon.com/Comic Conspiracy is where you can find all of our wonderful, beautiful patrons, and you can kick us a couple bucks on there.
And you can
head over to
those questions, man. You can post. You spend $1 a month, you can post a question.
Yeah. Well, I'll do Twitter threads too if I don't have a lot of questions in there as well. But always good to post in there. You guys get first crack. ComicConspiracyPodcast.com, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify is where you can find all our previous episodes. Go over to comicsconspiracy.biz. That's comics with an S. And it's our storefront. You can go pick up a bunch of stuff on there. Always some good comics coming in. Conspiratobrock.com. That's Brock's blog. Video pull us and unboxing videos over there. Charlie's got the Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension podcast, all about Doctor Who. Check that out. I think they're monthly right now. And because we're in between series. And go to the weekly interview series called Between the Panels, which is over at fanbasepress.com. That's where Kevin Sharp does all his great weekly interviews. With some great upcoming comic creators. And my wife, Leanne, has her website at leannehill.com and etsy.com/shop/LeanneHillArt for art and commissions and all sorts of other stuff you can get from her over there.
It's that time of the year for those Halloween holiday Haunted Mansion prints.
Yep. Selling a bunch of them. If you were on Twitter, you could follow all of us. Ryan Higgins Ryan, that is me. Brock is Brock Zager. Toby is Toby XI. Hopefully get him back on here soon. Charlie is Insanity and Chaos. Kevin is that Kevin Sharp, and the store is Comics Con Store. And please check out the Geek Box. I'll be on this week, I'm sure, talking all about the Nintendo Direct and our brand new video game obsession. What is that? I have to go check it out.
Well, it's not that cookie game, is it?
And Cookie Clicker is always my obsession. But no. This is all four of us playing. It's something. You have to find out what we're playing.
Are you guys actually streaming on Twitch?
No, never. God fucking no. Never. And go check out Manga Nations. Our good friends talk about manga and anime. You can go over there and listen to that stuff. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.